Okay, this video is about Polkadot. It's also about the big daddy Bitcoin. We're going to be using Bitcoin as the mechanism. Why? This is the most valuable asset within the whole of the crypto space. We know that, we talk about it time and time again. Ultimately, we're there to collect more Satoshis, we're there to collect more Bitcoin. The more Bitcoin you have, the better it is. So if I said to you that you could use Polkadot as a mechanism to be able to get a half price Bitcoin, would you call me crazy? Now, I'm going to show you a few different examples of exactly what I mean. And this is thinking outside the box, because people have missed the boat at Bitcoin at 61,500. It's currently trading at 123,000. So to get the equivalent of that, you need to do something by thinking outside the box. You need to go further down the risk curve. And that's why we're using Polkadot in this example. This is just me, guys, sharing my experiences with you, helping you think outside the box to understand that there's a different way. If you miss Bitcoin back at 61,500 in this example, there is a different way to be able to stack the same amount of Satoshis and get the same amount of Bitcoin by going further down the risk curve. And we did use Ethereum in the previous example. And look at this. This is the ETH Bitcoin chart. We understood that it was bottoming out down here. We zoomed out. We understood that that was likely a bottom. It bottomed out. It come back up. It took out the lower high. It put in a higher high. And at this point, around about 8th of July 2025, go back and watch the video, I'd said that you can get a half price Bitcoin by buying Ethereum at this level and then selling Ethereum up here at 0.04604. By selling Ethereum at that level and buying Bitcoin, that is exactly the same as getting a half price Bitcoin. And that's exactly what we're going to look at today with Polkadot. So you can see that's how you've done it with Ethereum. All we need is a break of this bull flag, cash in your Ethereum, turn it into Bitcoin. You've got a half price Bitcoin. And it is as simple as that. A lot of people can't think outside the box because it's not always in front of them, guys. But I've got 5 years experience in the game. So I've been learning every single day. And my goal is to teach you everything that I learn along the way. So on that note, guys, I never ask you to subscribe. Do that one thing, subscribe to my channel and help me along the way, because that means that I can put more content out there. I can get better guests on the channel, and it does help the algorithm, guys, because I do this free every single day for you guys. So that's one way that you can do it, by using Ethereum as the second biggest mechanism. We understood that Ethereum is the second biggest market cap, so that was going to be the next one. Once Bitcoin started losing momentum and Ethereum started outgaining Bitcoin, that was the first signal that we were going to shift into on risk. So Polkadot, we look at Polkadot here. Now, it is a lot easier to do it on Polkadot, and I'm going to show you exactly why. The reason is because it's higher risk. When it's higher risk, when these things run against Bitcoin, they run hard against Bitcoin, they run fast against Bitcoin, and it means that the gains need to be a lot less in comparison to its Bitcoin pair. So this is Polkadot now. We talked about this earlier on in the channel. $4.22. Go back and watch the previous video. So we need to break through $4.29 in the short term and start getting to the top of this wedge before we can knock on the ceiling, break out of this wedge all the way back to the next targets of $4.98 to $5 exactly. This is the important thing that I wanted to show you. Polkadot against Bitcoin. Now, can you see this pattern here? This is a descending wedge. This is Polkadot against its Bitcoin pair. You can see that Polkadot has been bleeding, Polkadot has been bleeding, Polkadot has been absolutely battered. This is what we're looking for, an uptrend. For Polkadot to beat Bitcoin. Unfortunately, it's been grinding, it's been grinding, it's been grinding. Now, this pattern tells a story. This descending wedge is a bullish pattern. And once you break out of this wedge, you break out with big volatile spikes. When you break out with big volatile spikes, that means that this asset, in this instance, is outperforming Bitcoin by a huge amount. Now, let me just jump back into Ethereum. Can you see anything with this? What did it start off with? A descending wedge. What is the descending wedge? Remember, a bullish pattern. We'd put in a bottom, we've got a descending wedge, then we've got the reversal. We'd taken out the previous lower high, put in a new high. This is where we were interested in the channel, on the channel. And that's where I'd said that that, for me, was the best opportunity to buy Ethereum in order to sell Ethereum to gain more Bitcoin at a later date. So you can see that pattern's very similar to this one. Now, this is the thing that's going to blow your mind. There's the descending wedge, hasn't started yet because this is further down the risk curve. Ethereum's already started making gains as it goes further down the risk curve as we go through the market. And then things like the Russell 2000 breakout, things like Total 3 breakout, you'll start seeing breakouts on things like Polkadot against their Bitcoin pair. Now, for you to get a half price Bitcoin, how high does this need to go from where price is now? 100%, remember guys, 100%. It needs to go to 0.00000692 Satoshis. So by buying Polkadot here and selling Polkadot there and buying Bitcoin with the Polkadot, then that is the equivalent to you getting Bitcoin at 61,500 whilst it's at 123,000. So you can use tools further down the risk curve. When you look at that, it's insignificant. Look at the start of this wedge. If you push it up to the start of the wedge, 500%. So that's potentially 500% off and getting a hell of a lot more Bitcoin. But like I say, it's about half price Bitcoin. That little conservative move there, that's just taken out this lower high. And that's just a little move. Doesn't look much in comparison. So that's just one way that you can do it, guys. It is possible to stack Bitcoin and stack more Satoshis, because ultimately that's the biggest asset within the whole of the crypto space. That's the thing that people want to hold over a long period of time. But you can use other assets that are going to outperform Bitcoin during specific times in the market, guys. It only happens every now and then. When you get an alt season, that is the best time for it to happen. So if you're thinking, what do I want to stack? Do I want to stack dollars? Do I want to stack Bitcoin? What is the asset that you want to stack? Then use ones that are further down the risk curve when the time is right to be able to stack those other assets and then double up by getting half price. If you did find it useful, let me know in the channel. Don't forget, we've got a Discord group that is completely free. Link in the description below. You can also follow me on X, Bullseye #4 Crypto, @Bullseye for Crypto. See you in the next one.